Hey y'all, it's Ira. This is the vlog for August 31st, 2025, Sunday. I am tired, so I apologize for any slurring or missteps. We woke up, or I had an interesting sleep cycle. I woke around 5:30, I went back to sleep, woke up again around 7 or something like that, and Nikki was sound asleep, so I just I didn't want to disturb her because she was tired yesterday, so we kind of rested and was in and out of sleep until about 8. And I felt very well rested today, this morning when I woke up. But my sleep score on my Garmin watch was like a 71, which is, it's out of 100. That's pretty bad from what I have been getting. So I don't know what made it so bad. It probably said, let's actually look. Sleep score. Where is it? Back. Where are you? It's backward. I guess it's backwards for you. Sleep score 71. Fair quality sleep insight. I guess it can't quite. The camera can't see that. I'll read it. You slept a bit less than recommended, and your amount of REM sleep was low. Your sleep may have suffered because of low physical activity yesterday. Yeah, I didn't work out yesterday. Well, I did do some strength training at the end of the day, but because of the car having the lock issue and the keyhole issue, I kind of stayed with the car a lot. It says I might feel more tired than usual today, and that kind of goes hand in hand with what I was talking about yesterday about how you need to balance. Oh, and then it added a nap of 52 minutes because I think that was when I kind of was in and out of sleep. Yeah, it says 7:20 to 8:12 a.m. And the sleep time was 11 to 6 roughly. So, ooh, I took 15,105 steps today. So I made up, I definitely was active today. I climbed 50 floors of stairs, it says. That explains why I'm tired, probably. And part of the reason for that is because I went on a long run and it was like all uphill, gradually kind of, on the first half I went out and back. But, so anyway, very well, felt good in the morning. Went to McDonald's breakfast. Why did we do that? Why didn't we cook? I don't remember. Anywho, we did that, and then we went to Laprelle Park, where our crows usually are. And do you ever have it where one day feels like two? And so, like, I'm remembering things about this morning. I'm like, was that yesterday morning? Laprelle crows. We had a free egg McMuffin from using the McDonald's app, and we read that crows love hard-boiled egg, which that egg in the McDonald's McMuffin is like kind of the consistency of a hard-boiled egg. So we think we have distinguished some of the crows from the others. We have one that we named Fred, his neck looks all picked up, like plucked up, like henpecked, kind of. Not totally like you see some severe in chickens, you see that. But he is what we think he's the least risk averse. He has always been very forward and comfortable with coming up close, pretty close. So he's our buddy. The next one we call White Wing because he is on the fronts of his wings. He's got kind of a white section on both wings, and he is the second least risk averse. It took him time, but he has become almost as comfortable with us as Fred. The weird thing with Fred is he kind of tends to stay back. Like this morning, I had to like go find him. Kind of, I looked around behind the shelter bathroom thing, and I saw a crow out on the street, and I didn't realize it was him at first, and I was going to name him Streetwalker because he was walking around on this street. But I go, come here, and he just started running. He kind of, and then he just flew right at me, and then he came over they sit on this grill and on this table adjacent to our table, and I realized it was Fred. I think the other crows, I think I've seen them kind of try to kind of haze him a bit because I don't know what the deal is. I mean, he does look pecked up, but I'm wondering if he's just kind of a bit impulsive or belligerent. You do notice some degree of different personality, and maybe he kind of needs to be kind of pecked a little bit to maybe he's not following the social rules like he should usually. The third one is Old Yeller, and we call him that because he stays back a little bit and he just kind of goes wah, 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 and just yells and wants us to throw the food out to where he's at instead of coming up close. I'm crooked, I guess. And then Speckles is the fourth one we've named, and that's it. He has white speckles on his breast, on his chest. White Wing has that too, but also has the white on his wings. And Speckles just kind of hangs back and is quiet. And then there's others beyond that we haven't differentiated yet that really don't come up much. After that, we went to go look for a coffee shop. And we kind of I'm trying to retrace our steps. Like, we went to one place that we'd been before, and the parking lot looked pretty full. And then we were like, let's just go to this other one that we'd been to before, a couple of times. And on our way there, we kind of were remembering how the last time we were there, we kind of got some passive aggressive like a lady was looking, kind of shooting daggers with her eyes, and like, I was gonna sit outside, but there's no seats, and like looking at us. I don't know why us particularly. There was 3 tables and people were at each table. That must have been her table. And you kind of get that sense there that, so we're like, you know what, it dawned on me. I was like, aha, McDonald's, you can have coffee for cheap, and it actually tastes better. This place's coffee isn't very good, and you can be comfortable and not harassed with that kind of harassment. So we were like, McDonald's it is, and we went and ordered some coffees and charged. The other good thing is it's easy to bring our EcoFlow in and charge the battery. And I was typing my vlog notes that I'm using right now. That's how I try to get it's kind of my warm up for thinking. And then there was an older gentleman. and I blogged about this. If you want to go read it, but I usually don't share too much of my blog on my vlog, so to hopefully, yeah, have people go read it. But an older gentleman was in there, and he made his way towards us and then sat like right behind me in the adjacent booth, and I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. He just switched, but whatever. Maybe he was getting the vent was blowing on him or something. And then he kind of put his arm up on the back of the booth, and these booth backs come up to about like the middle of your back, so it's like, it's like, okay, I could see this out of my periphery. And then he kind of turned a little more, and I could see out of the corner of my eye all this. And then Nikki's across from me, and at one point I look up and I see that she is looking over right at this guy, and she's like, she gives a polite smile. This guy was an older gentleman, maybe in his 80s, and I think he said something like, do you know if they're open tomorrow? Because it's Labor Day tomorrow. And anyway, that launched out, that initiated a big conversation. It went on probably about 2 hours. He was basically a human encyclopedia, and his name was Warren. And it was interesting. I felt like it was kind of providential because the library's closed for 3 consecutive days, and we love the library, and I love reading stuff there. And I feel like maybe the universe brought the library to me via this guy. He had so much knowledge of, it was like I say, an encyclopedia, even down to the numbers, like prices, populations of places, just statistics in general, and just other facts. And I kind of delineated this in my blog. I gave a little backstory to it, and then I was trying to remember everything he said. And then when he left, I just quickly jotted it down as much as I could remember, and I just kind of put a list of everything, because it was just kind of wild how much he knew from economics, world economics, political science, history, geography, sociology. It was very interesting. Current events, his personal history. But it was a conversation. He was also listening. He knew so much more than I did. I didn't have a ton to add, but when I did, he took that into account and didn't just bowl over what I was saying. He was a nice older gentleman. So anyway, that you might enjoy that blog. It's pretty short and easy to read. After that, I finished my blog. I was like, I know what I'm blogging on now, because I didn't know for sure before that. Then it's Sunday, so I went on my long run. I'm trying to get back into the habit of running. It's like roughly, you do 3 to 4 runs a week, I guess, kind of, and something like that. And then you do your longest run of the week on Sunday's the most common day to do that, and that's what I did. And I went to Pilot Hill Recreation Area on the east end of town, and it was a beautiful day. It was just clear. It's been rainy here a lot, and cloudy, because I guess like some kind of Pacific monsoon I've talked about this before, makes its way all the way up here from Baja, Mexico or something. Or Baja, California, which is in Mexico. So it was clear, and I went out there, and I'd forgotten that the whole thing, like the trailhead is like down here, and then the Laramie Mountains are up here, this is like 7,220 feet Laramie, and up here is like 8,300 or something. And the Pilot Hill Recreation, if you run towards those mountains, you're just going up the whole way, but it's pretty long, so it's pretty gradual. So you don't necessarily notice it visually totally, but I was feeling it. I'm like, why am I so tired? Why am I so tired? And I got up a ways and into there, and I turned around to look behind me and realized I could see like the whole city and the Medicine Bow Mountains in the west. And I was like, oh wait, I'm a lot higher than I was down there. No wonder this is hard. I'm going up the whole time. And not only is it more work to go up, it's at these altitudes I'm dealing with a higher elevation, which makes it less oxygen per breath. So a higher altitude, and so it was okay. I was okay, and I got up. I went out. So sorry. Decided to go out a half hour and come back half hour. My other runs this week were around half an hour, so I thought maybe just make. I've been training on time rather than distance, in large part because I don't want to inconvenience Nikki. With I got to do this many miles, no matter how long it takes. I just go by time, and the Garmin coach has a built-in personalized coach that looks at your history and will give you a plan based on that. It has an option to do train by time, which I think is very convenient. So I went out a half hour, came back half hour, and it was quicker coming down, so I had to kind of go do a little bit extra off of that trail distance-wise. I had to run further distance on the way back than the way out because I was faster coming back. So, yeah, and I've run an hour. I mean, running an hour is not new to me. I've been running since just before my 46th birthday, and I'm 52, and I've been doing it for most of those years. I've been extremely consistent, following running plans from the YouTube channel This Messy Happy. I just stuck to it, rain or shine or cold or wind or whatever. And am I in your way? Am I in your way? Yeah. And this past year I have not been as consistent because of how we're living in the car, and it's just an excuse, really, to be honest. You can always do something. There's a guy that ran a marathon in a submarine. He just ran back and forth. And other people have done similar things since then. It's just kind of, you really don't have hardly any excuse other than getting pretty sick or severely injured. Because even when you have running injuries, you can take it easy. You can walk for sure, and you can run easy. And so that's on me. And before that, even before we started this life, I was struggling to be more consistent because we were heavily involved in a particular church, and I didn't always feel free to use my time the way I wanted to. Oh, I did for the most part, but that ended up being kind of a bad situation. So, and plus I had moved from Independence to Liberty, and I hadn't found, the only running place I'd found in Liberty, this is in Missouri, was like really, it was a trail, like a rough trail in a hilly place, and the town is very hilly, and so I kind of sometimes use that as an excuse to not run. Now that trail, when it rained, it was wet. You weren't even supposed to run on it. I did that a number of times, but sometimes it would be just too muddy to get around on it. But I've since discovered other places in Liberty and in northeast Kansas City to run, which is where we're moving to. So, and like I said, you could just run back and forth in a parking lot if you had to. So, anyway, yeah, I used to run. I tried to run a marathon, train for a marathon one time, and the longest distance I ever ran was, I think, 20 miles. And it messed me up. But I want to someday try that again. And I've run half marathon distance. At one point I was training to where my average run was 10, like I'd run 10K one day and then 12K another day, and then something more than 12 on the long run. And so that's like 6.2 miles is 10K. So I got to where that was pretty comfortable for me, running that much a week. And so I hope to get back there, but I'm trying to be humble and not, put my ego in a box and not bite off more than I can chew, build up to it gradually. One big problem I have is with the heat in Kansas City. That's a huge problem. And in the summer, I had a gray out one time on a run, and I think I was training for a marathon or half marathon maybe during that, and my vision just went out and I could just see gray. That's it. No shapes, nothing. And I don't know why, but I decided, and I'd always struggled, like my heart rate would skyrocket in the heat, and that's normal for most people. But I didn't want to push it too much. I just decided, summers I'm gonna keep for shorter distances and things. So it's limiting, but I'm trying to work realistically within what I have. So I'm going to try to be more consistent. I'm going to try to journal my running. I'm on Strava. You can see my runs on there. And I may do a separate running vlog type thing or something. But anyway, so after that, I was really tired the rest of the day, I guess, from the run. And maybe I should have eaten more carbs. I was hydrated. I'm very well hydrated and with electrolytes and everything. And I didn't eat. I probably ate, let's see, 800, 1600. Let's see. 18. I don't know. I probably didn't even eat 2,000 calories today. That probably was a little low. And I probably needed more carbs before and after the run. But I don't know. But we pushed through. The dashing today was not good as good as normal financially. It was just, for some reason, low paying offers. So we got to around $100, but we had to work longer. We had to work till pretty late. And then the people of Laramie has turned kind of a little bad. Like when we first got here, it was a slow-paced, polite town, but it seems like ever since the college kids got here, there's a lot of bad actors, let's just say, compared to what was here before. And I think it's even affecting the native Larameans, because they're having to deal with it. The town's so small and the university's pretty big, so it's kind of a big deal when everybody comes to school. You got a lot more people, and they're doing a ton of road construction too. So things are really torn up and narrowed down, and we actually had people behind us cursing at us to get the F out of the way because we were going the speed limit on a residential street. And I'm pretty sure they were just college age kids. We had some other stuff like similar to that. And in the grocery stores, people are just kind of bowl you over, and it's not like it used to be. But yeah, by the way, how do y'all get away with speeding? I used to speed a lot, actually, and I just always got tickets. I could never get away with it, and I couldn't afford it. And even when I was young, I even got my insurance dropped once. I don't know how y'all do it. I see even older people just consistently speeding, driving like demons, and I drive the speed limit because I can't afford the tickets. And when you think about it, law of physics, you know, you go faster, it's just less safe. More damage at impact, less time to react. And the thing with that is it's a limit too. It's not a average or a median. I think people see the limit as the minimum, and that is not at all the case. So I don't know. We finished up. We were tired. We're both spent. Late. Taco Bell dinner. Cheesy bean and rice burrito. 2 for me. 1 for Nikki, with a potato taco, I think it's called. And I asked for frijoles negros instead of refried beans, and they said, yeah, we got it. And then I bit into the burrito, and it was not frijoles negros, and that's okay. It was still good. But frijoles negros, black beans, are superfood. So Taco Bell has superfood. Think about that. And they're still $1 even with the black beans, those burritos. So anyway, that's it tonight. We're gonna try to do it all again tomorrow on Labor Day, see what it's like around here. I might try to blog again. A lot of the blog ideas I have probably would require some research, so I don't know if I'll have time, but I would like to do a blog a day, but we'll see what happens there. So anyway, I'm gonna turn in. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time. Good night.